Hey, single queen, this is Desmond Booker, your favorite Christian dating and relationship coach. I help successful queens who are seeing success in their life but are now ready to see success in their love life. This is Queens Don't Settle. I'm excited about today. It's another week. This is Monday morning. Whenever you're watching this, may not be Monday for you, may be another day, right? Thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. Thank you for those that are following me on IG and subscribing and following me, even on our Queens Don't Settle single to dating, right? Queens Don't Settle single to dating Facebook group. All right. We are excited today. Make sure you get a piece of paper and a pen because I'm going to be sharing some things today that you're going to want to take notes. And then you can come back and watch the replay of it as well. I'm excited. Can you believe that it's the end of October? October is almost gone. We only have a week left. Great things are happening and greater things are going to happen. And I'm in high expectation of that. Um, okay, so I've given you a moment to get your pen and a piece of paper. I want to talk real quickly about fear keeping you single. I'm going to talk about that. Fear keeping you single. Is it keeping you single? Are you allowing fear to keep you single? It's so important that you begin to realize that and begin to see this is because if you are fearing, it's going to definitely keep you single. And we're going to talk about that. And then I want to also share with you how to keep fear and see it not as a bad thing, but actually as a good thing. So we're going to want to talk about these things today. So if fear is what we got to do is identify because there's so many types of fear that what can keep or will keep you single. And so in the midst of it, that's why you want to write this down because then that way you can kind of reflect and see what fear it is that you potentially might have and maybe not even thought about. Because many times you're trying to, you feel like dating, you're wanting to attract the right person. You feel like you're trying to get over somebody that have hurt you and you want to be healed. So all of these things come in, but then you never really think about the fear part of it. So the first fear, of course, would be fear of hurt. Fear of being hurt. So if I'm fearing being hurt, that's definitely, even though I want to be in a relationship, it's gonna keep me single. Why? Because every person that I meet potentially could hurt me. So it's not gonna allow me to be vulnerable. It's not gonna allow me to open myself up to anybody. It's not gonna allow myself to definitely not take any risk and do something um, the fear of being hurt. Now, what's ironic about the fear of being hurt is that here you are on dating apps or dating online and you have the fear of being hurt. That's not good, right? Because fear is going to what? It's going to draw the wrong person into your life. And most likely it's going to be a manipulating type person or a narcissistic person. So I want you to think about that. Is that the first fear that we're talking about is fear of being hurt? Is that keeping you single? Is that keeping you from going forward, even though you may want to be in a relationship? The second fear that I want to talk about that may potentially maybe keeping you single, and I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. This morning, I see you guys jumping on, is the fear of rejection. Oh my goodness. If I put myself out there but be rejected, I'm tired of being rejected. The fear of rejection is something that also will keep you single. So you have the fear of being hurt, now the fear of being rejected. I don't like being somebody telling me no. Now you got to really be honest with yourself. Is that keeping you single? You're going through this process of meeting people in the process of it. No, okay, I don't. That doesn't feel good, does it? In fact, it reminds me of some things that have already gone on because my last relationship or people I've met before have rejected me. So I definitely don't want to put myself out of there because of fear of rejection. So fear of being hurt, fear of being rejected. Okay. Now the third one is the fear of losing. Watch this, my independence. Ooh, so, are you fearing that you're going to lose your independence? Now, again, we're going to say, no, I want him to step up. I want him to lead me. But you have to really be honest with you because you've been running this and you've been doing a good job, but you've been running your life. You got the kids, or you got your life. You've been, got your job, and you're working, or a business, and you're doing great. But you're going to have to give that up, per se, in order to allow somebody to lead you. Not the wrong somebody, because the right somebody is going to have to lead you. And that's just the way that it is. That's just the way that we're created. We're created for a man to cover a woman. Now, we don't want to get into this morning, but this is the way that it's supposed to be. And he is leading his wife. He's covering her. Okay. So if you're dating with the purpose of marriage, this is what you're really truly wanting, is somebody to come into your life to be able to lead you and help you, and those type of things, and cover you, is the way that it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be pouring into you, right? And so if you have the fear of your independence being gone, I'm going to lose, quote unquote, my independence. But losing your independence doesn't mean that you lose your identity either. So let's talk about that. Just because you're an independent woman does not mean that you lose your identity. You still are who you are. Now, the problem and the issue is, the reason why is because many times of you getting into these relationships, this is why, and you gotta listen to what I'm saying. This is why so many times you're dating people who, quote unquote, is not the right person, as far as the leader, as far as the alpha, as far as the person that knows his right. This is why you're single, right? This is why you date those type of men. Then you come back and say, well, there's nobody that will lead. I'm not submitting to anybody. I don't care about. No, the actuality, the facts are true, is that subconsciously you're fearing that you're going to have to be, quote unquote, running things, right? And you don't really truly want to run things, but this is the type of people that's been coming into your life. So you've been attracting it. Why? Because you don't really truly want to give up your independence. Ooh, I know that's going to be something that you're going to have to chew on for a little bit. Are you willing to not be dependent on yourself anymore, and to actually depend on another person? You got to make sure that that's the right person, though, right? So you can't be attracting the wrong people, because. And let me just say this from a man's perspective and from my perspective. What I have happened, because I'm definitely an alpha man, I'm definitely willing to lead the lady, and I know that when I lead her, that we're not just, we're not. It's not a dominating thing, but it's a mutual respect, because I do believe submitting to one another. But what I found out is that the woman who really truly is praying and desiring to be in a relationship, and let's just say that she has been in these bad relationships, when it comes to a man, and how do I know this? Because this has happened to me personally. This has happened to me. I know that I come with the intention of dating to marriage. Guess what happens? She doesn't allow me to. She restrains herself. Watch this. She restrains herself from really actually allowing me to get close to her. And this is the reason why. Is because she knows the type of person, because she knows that we're going to really truly be one. We're going to really truly be committed to each other, right? Watch this. This is important, what I'm saying. So what does she do? She subconsciously goes after the guy. So I'll ask her, I say, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. And then she began to tell me, not only this from a dating relationship standpoint, but this is also from me personally, when I beginning to get to know queens, right? So she began to tell me all the things that she's willing to do for all these wrong people, right? But then this right person, who, quote unquote, could potentially be your husband, you're not willing to do these type of things. What does that alert us to? That you're trying to keep your independence, because you already know that if you get this type of man to come into your world, that you're going to be able to still keep your independence, and he's not going to lead you. This is why you have, and I hate to say this, I'm not attacking anybody. This is why you have the woman who's going to work and he's still sitting on the couch, because technically you're still what? You're still running the house. And then you get upset when you get married, when he starts to try to take over things. Well, this is the way that I got into something this morning. This is the way that these narcissistic relationships start. These manipulating, he has absolutely nothing for you but what? But he's giving you your independence, so you can keep doing what you always done. You go to work, you take care of your home. Now you're actually taking care of him. These things are keeping you what? independent. And so now he comes and here and there. Now the problem is here he comes trying to tell you what to do. And he has absolutely nothing in the relationship but just himself, and perhaps maybe doing some things that please you in a way, but he's absolutely giving you nothing. But what do you have? It's okay, even though you know it's not okay. You have your independence. And this is what we're talking about. So we got, first of all, the fear of rejection, the fear of hurt. Now I'm talking about the fear of independence. Are you willing to give up your independence? Are you willing to allow somebody, you know, and I hate to say this, but this is a bad example, but some men would try to come in and even try to take care of the mechanics of the car. Oh no, I got this. Can I change your light bulb? No, I got this. Because why? Because you've been hurt so much that you're not willing to give up that independence. I hope you get what I'm saying. I got to move on because we got a lot to cover. But those three right there, the fear of rejection, the fear of being hurt, and the fear of losing your independence. Again, the right man is not going to cause you to not only lose your independence, but also not to lose your identity. That is very important. Okay. I'm not talking about you having the fear of connecting with the wrong person. I'm talking about the right person coming into your life. Let's talk about number 4. So the fear of what? Of failure. The fear of failure. So I want to be in a relationship. And again, I want to welcome everybody that's joined me this morning. The fear of failure. I'm failing. I've failed so many times. I've been married how many times? I've been in relationships how many times? I'm tired of failing. It seems like every time I can't get it right. This is what's keeping you single. So what I don't want to do is get in another relationship because I'm afraid that this is going to lead to failure. That is definitely going to keep you from being in a relationship, because if you already see the end result of you failing, okay? So I had to go on so many times about that, but the fear of being alone, and so let me get into this, the fear of abandonment, okay? So if I fear being abandoned, every time I get into a relationship and then I go back to being alone, right? I go back to being in quote unquote in my world, and it seems like there's nobody there that's going to cater to me. There's nobody that's going to be in my life. The fear of abandonment. That's what's keeping you single. So what's the point of me getting into a relationship? What's the point of me dating? Because it's going to always lead to me being alone. And I would rather just not even start this whole process. So you have the fear of being hurt. You have the fear of being rejected. You have the fear of you're losing your independence. You have the fear of abandonment. And you have the fear of, I can't think of the other fear, but it's okay. You got it. You wrote it down though. So all of these fears are playing off of one another, right? And so I'm going to end with this because I want to give you something. So when you be honest with yourself and list the fear out, and then you can comment below and tell me what fear that you think that I missed or failed to miss. But in the midst of this, and I was thinking about fear of failure, right? So let's go over it. Fear of being hurt, fear of being rejected, fear of losing your independence, fear of failure, and then the last fear, of course, is that fear that we just talked about. So in the process of all these fears, think about this. Which fear do you fall into? Once you identify the fear, now what we're going to begin to do is then because fear is nothing but, watch this and write this down. Fear is feedback. Fear is telling me what's keeping me single. That's feedback. That's good. So this fear, I'm going to use it not as a negative, but I'm going to use it as a positive, because I see where I am fearing. What I'm going to do is, okay, so I got the fear of rejection. So why am I so afraid? What happened with the fear? So I've got to get healed of that, right? I've got to get healed of that. And if you need to help being healed of rejection, just comment rejection, and I'll send you I got a free resource for you for rejection. But that gives me, so you have to begin to identify why you fear being rejected, or why do you fear losing your independence? Is there a relationship or something that you gave up your independence one time, and let's just say, you got in a relationship, and then in the process of that, you lost your independence and you kind of like let him lead you or let him, and it led to destruction, right? It didn't lead in the right direction, or something happened and you're like, no, I can't afford. Because one thing that you don't want to do is that when you're on the top, especially as a woman, and whenever you're on the top and then you come into somebody's life and then somebody comes into your life and they bring you down, one thing that you don't ever, I've lost everything. You know, that's what they say. I lost everything. I lost even myself in the process. I don't ever want to get into that again, because you're wanting to what? You're going to cause yourself to protect yourself. So this is good. So write the fear down that you have, and then you may have another one, and you can comment below if you have, or you feel that there's another fear that that I didn't cover that you potentially may have. This is just a conversation. We're just talking about this. I want to bring the awareness to it. So then now use that as feedback. Use your fear as feedback so that you can begin to apply this and get healed of that fear. So then that no longer blocks you from going forward. It's very important that you remove that fear so that you can go forward. And I'm here to help. As you know that I have a free 15-minute call if you want to talk to me. If you're on YouTube, you can get the link below and get that consultation. Or if you are on Instagram, you can DM me, or you can comment below and I'll get in contact with you so we can identify the fear that you may have. This is a 15-minute free call, and then we can see you move forward, because I'm really working hard with a lot of single queens to move you from single to successfully dating within this 2025 to into 2026. And 2026 is going to be the year that you're going to be in a great relationship. You're going to be healed. You're going to go to a great relationship. And many of you, if you go ahead and just allow yourself and open yourself up, you can actually be married in 2026. Does that sound far-fetched? Absolutely it's not. Absolutely it's not. 2026 can be your year if you go ahead and start now to go ahead and start processing what I'm teaching you and been teaching you. That 2026 can be the year that you are at the altar and you're marching down to your man, right? Or you may have some other way that you want to get, may not want to go into the chapel, right? But anyway, I digress, and I wanted to share that with you today. Identify the fears, and if you have any other fear that you feel that you may have that I didn't discuss, but those are the 5 major fears. Fear, I don't want to go over it again because I may forget, right? Fear of being rejected, fear of being hurt, fear of losing your independence, fear of rejection, and then you got the other fear that sometimes slips out of my mind. But you have all the fears. Okay? Thank you for joining me. Again, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and comment below. Like this video if it's given you any value. If you're on Instagram, thank you for joining me, Instagram. Also like this and comment below. And then if you are in Facebook, also you can comment. And let's set up a free 15-minute call, and let's go ahead and move you from single to successful dating. Don't forget, also, I have my membership, my Single to Successfully Dating membership. It's only $20, but see, tomorrow it's going to go up to $39. So you want to make sure that you jump onto that and get that special before it goes up tomorrow. I had somebody wake me up this morning and saying that they're ready. They already signed up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't had my coffee yet. But I went ahead and helped them and get them started. So we thank you for joining us. And again, if you want that Single to Successful Dating membership and want to find the information, that's in the link below, or you can DM me on Instagram or Facebook. You can also DM me or just comment below membership, and I'll get you that information. This has been great. Remember, don't allow the fear to keep you where you are. Move forward. Remember, queens don't settle.